Previously.
Carl, I have leukemia.
What? Your body stopped responding to the chemotherapy. I'll do the very best I can with the limited resources I have.
You want me?
Oh, I need someone I can trust. If you could find it in your heart to help me.
Are you crazy? She asked me for a reference.
The actions of a scared and desperate woman.
I remembered something else about the accident. I saw Brad and Matt up ahead, and they were angry, arguing.
Are you saying that Matt or Brad or both of them stepped out in front of your vehicle?
Everybody needs good neighbors with a little understanding. You can find the perfect blend. Neighbors should be there for one another. That's when good neighbors become good friends.
She's now claiming that at the time of the accident, you and Matt were in the middle of a full-blown argument.
We were having a heated discussion.
Which spilled out onto the street, into the path of the oncoming vehicle.
No.
What are you saying?
Danny is suggesting that she may not be entirely to blame.
We were on the road, but she veered to us from the other side of the street.
You sure about that?
Absolutely. Danny's the one to blame, not Matt or me.
Okay, so your statement to police is 100% correct.
Yes.
That's what I thought, and that's why I'm no longer representing her.
And how did Danny take that?
Well, she's disappointed, but you know, she'll find someone else to represent her. In the meantime, she gave me permission to tell you.
Oh, well, that was good of her.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not better news. Yeah.
I can't believe she's doing this. It means more police investigations, more questions, more dredging everything up. What about the kids? I mean, Paley is barely coping enough as it is.
It's okay, we'll sort it out.
What can I get you?
Thank you. That was the courier dropping off your will from Tim Collins' office. Right, now, where do you want to start? Who's Amy Williams? She's listed as one of your beneficiaries.
She's my daughter.
Another kid.
Yeah, I got one in every port, didn't you know?
Why have you never mentioned her?
Because it's none of your business.
Well, it is now. She's in your will. Where does she live?
I don't know.
So you're not in contact with her at all?
Naomi, I told you, my kids are not your concern. Just take care of my business affairs.
Hey. Hey. Barely seen you in days and that's all I get?
No, I'm just, busy, that's all.
Can't be easy knowing that Danny's put the garage up for sale.
Yeah, she reckons she can't guarantee my job.
Oh, still, you're a good mechanic. Something else will turn up.
What about you? What's happening with the D'Amato case?
Yeah, D'Amato's all lawyered up. But we've got a good solid case against him, so I'm quietly optimistic. I better hit the shower, but maybe we could grab a bite together sometime, huh?
Yeah, sounds good. Naomi too?
Yeah, she can make some time for us. Been hard to pin her down of late.
Oh, you're a very bad girl. Although I do agree with your critique on council minutes. After you.
Oh, you don't have to clean up after the dog. Last time I checked, that wasn't part of your job description.
Really, as far as I can tell, dealing with bad behaviour is absolutely part of my job description.
Touché. I deserve that. And I am sorry I shouldn't have snapped at you before.
Yeah, well, let's just put it down to the chemo, shall we?
Truth is, I wouldn't be getting through this without you. You are my silver lining.
Thank you. Look, I know you think this isn't my place, but I'm only pushing it because it's important. Don't you think your kids have a right to know about your illness?
Yes, when I am ready.
I mean, what if they've got things they want to say to you before it's too late? Or things you want to say to them? All of them, including Amy.
Oh, look, I lost contact with Amy when she was around 6 years old. Why on earth would I put her through a reunion only to break the news that I'm dying?
Because she deserves an opportunity to get to know her father. okay? There are so many things I wish I could have said to my father before he died. You know, and my biggest regret is I didn't thank him. I didn't thank him for loving me, for all my faults, which you'll be surprised to know I have plenty. So just please consider it, talking to your kids sooner rather than later.
All right, I will consider it. And listen, while we're on the subject of settling my affairs, someone I need you to call.
And you're only coming forward with this information now?
Well, I was in shock. I wasn't thinking straight. Since I gave that first statement, details have been coming back to me.
Are you sure you're not just looking for a way out?
Why should I take the blame for something that wasn't entirely my fault? I mean, can't you at least talk to Brad? If he can tell you what they were arguing about, it might give you a better idea of what went on.
What they were arguing about is beside the point. The important thing is whether or not they're on your side of the road, which the crash investigation unit will determine.
I've seen enough cop shows to know that if there are holes in a witness's story, the entire thing can unravel. Look, I confessed, which means there's a chance no one looked into Brad's story that closely. There could be holes that help me get a reduced sentence. Mark, please. Since Toadie's dumped me, you're all I've got.
Hey, I feel sorry for Lauren, but it is so hard to sit back and watch your husband spend so much time with another woman.
And not just any other woman.
Yeah, and every time I see them, I get this knot in my stomach. Is that really horrible of me?
Sounds to me like Brad's being your classic knight in shining armour.
Well, yeah, out of guilt. Well, we both feel guilty. Matt died saving Brad's life.
Yeah, but at some level, Brad's loving this. He gets to rescue the damsel in distress.
I don't know if he's loving it.
Well, can you afford to take the risk? Look, you've put years of blood, sweat and tears into your marriage, right?
You make it sound so romantic.
All I'm saying is protect your interests, all right? Don't be the one who loses.
Sorry to do this to you. It's fine. So can you tell me again what you and Matt were arguing about at the time of the accident?
Well, does it matter?
Well, it could be relevant.
Well, it wasn't really an argument, just more of a verbal disagreement.
Right, about what?
The wedding.
Could you be a bit more specific?
About Imogen running off with Daniel and how Amber was coping with it.
Right, except everyone knew the truth by then.
Well, Matt couldn't handle it, you know, he was pretty upset about the whole thing.
Lauren said that Matt was in a pretty good place by then. He was relieved, in fact.
Which proves it wasn't an argument, right?
You and Matt didn't really get along, did you?
What has that got to do with anything?
Well, I'm just saying that if you guys were, I don't know, arguing about Lauren, it could have escalated pretty quickly.
Well, it didn't. That is not what happened.
You could have spilled out onto the road in front of Danny's car.
Look, Danny was driving the car, okay? She's the one responsible for Matt's death. I'm sorry. It's just this whole thing's pretty upsetting.
Look, Brad, I'm going to have to ask you to come down to the station and do this formally.
Are you serious? Well, can I at least have a shower first and get changed?
Yeah, go for it. I've got a few things to chase up. Meet down there, say 4 o'clock. Sure.
Paul, what's going on? How are you feeling?
No, I'm fine, Carl. It's not medical, it's political. Have a seat.
What's going on?
Well, as you're aware, I'm not going to be able to hang on to the office of mayor for much longer.
Oh, Paul, you don't know that.
Look, there's no point in pretending otherwise. My time is running out, so that's why I want to nominate you as my successor.
Your successor?
Oh, Carl, you're the one with the degree. Do I have to spell it out for you?
I know what you mean. I think it's a little premature to be talking about standing down.
Look, my most recent round of blood work has revealed that the chemo is no longer working.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. What does Nick say?
Doesn't matter what Nick says. I need to do what's best for Erinsborough. And if my health continues to slide the way it is, I need to know that there's someone waiting in the wings. Which is why I want to know whether you'll accept or not.
I will certainly give it some thought.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks.
So is there really nothing else that Nick can do? There's no new treatment he's trialling?
Oh, well, you know, he's got a few more things he wants to try, but we can't really try anything until the research centre is up and running.
Well, that's going ahead.
Yeah, the vote's in the morning. I mean, obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but... Oh, God, how's that for irony, hey? And I'm backing the thing, and I'm going to be first through the door.
I need to come clean.
Well, and tell Brennan about Matt Sharon.
Well, he already suspects something.
Then Lauren will find out.
Maybe not.
Do you really want to break Lauren's heart? Because that's exactly what's going to happen if she finds out about Matt's infidelity with Sharon.
Well, maybe she deserves to know the truth.
It'll destroy her.
We'll support her through it.
But it'll give Brennan more reason to believe that it was a full-on fight. And then before you know it, it'll be Danny's version of events that'll stick.
But she's lying. She was absolutely on the wrong side of the road.
Hey, just sit tight and have faith, because eventually her story will come undone. Look, why don't we put our heads together and talk about what you're going to say before you head over to the station? That way there won't be any discrepancies. Yeah?
Okay.
Bailey, it's Mum again. Just please let me know you're okay.
Thanks.
There you go, enjoy.
You do realise cops aren't allowed to accept freebies? Haven't paid.
Oh, sorry. I'm all over the place.
So I'm guessing you heard Danny's changed her statement?
Yes, Toadie told me.
Hey, look, I've just finished talking to Brad. There seems to be some inconsistencies with his story.
Really?
Yeah, I was wondering if you could help clear a few things up.
Yeah, sure, if I can.
Now, Brad claims that he and Matt were arguing about what happened on the day of the wedding. Is that news to you?
Well, not exactly. I mean, Brad told me they were discussing the kids at the hospital, and I suppose I thought that was strange. I mean, the whole wedding fiasco with Imogen running off with Daniel, I thought that had been resolved.
Right. So if it wasn't the kids, do you know what they may have been arguing about?
Mark, just tell me what's going on.
OK, look, I don't want to upset you, but it seems that Brad might be lying about the nature of the argument, and I need to know why. Hey, here are the books from the garage.
Thanks. I'll make sure Mum writes your reference. If it's coming from me, I don't think it'll carry much weight.
If there's anything I can do to help.
There isn't. It's all a bit of a mess, really. But thanks anyway.
Anytime.
Hi.
Hi.
Look, I hope you understand Jared's reasons for passing on your case.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm still disappointed. I mean, I really needed a friend in my corner.
Hey, just because Jared's not representing you doesn't mean we don't support you personally. But it's going to be a lot easier if you're completely honest.
You think I'm lying?
No, I didn't mean that.
When I gave my original statement, I was in shock. I was confused. I revised it because I remembered other things about the accident. I'm not making anything up.
I know, but sometimes when we're in desperate situations, we try to rationalise the actions that put us there.
So you do think I'm lying?
Look, why don't you just come over and we can talk about it later?
Why? You've made your position quite clear.
Can you please just think about it?
Hey. Thanks. I just wanted to talk to you before our meeting down at the police station this afternoon. Yeah, look, about that. Look, just let me finish, all right? Because I don't want to change my mind. You were right. I wasn't honest about the argument with Matt.
Mate, that's fine. Lauren's filled me in. Although, I've got to say, if I'd have known that Lauren told you Matt was taking bribes from D'Amato, I could have saved us both a whole heap of trouble.
So you understand what the argument was about?
But, mate, listen, I promised Matt that I'd be discreet, OK? So there's no need to go into the details.
How come?
Well, I just got off the phone to the crash investigation unit and they confirmed that Danny's story doesn't really check out. From the point of impact, along with the tyre marks on the road, they confirmed that Danny's car did drift onto the wrong side of the street.
So it was completely her fault.
Yeah, there's no way that you and Matt were in the way of her car.
That's great. But, I mean, obviously not for Danny.
Yeah, look, also, it was really good that you didn't mention anything about the whole Demano business. And I'm sure that Lauren really appreciates it too. Anyway, I've got to get back to it.
Thanks for that.
Thanks. What are you looking at?
Job listings. I just saw Danny and thought I should start looking.
No, but you didn't expect this to happen only a month or two into the job? It's amazing how the implications of one bad decision can change everything.
Yeah, you're telling me. Hey, do you think people like Danny can come back from a mistake this big?
Yeah, everyone deserves a second chance. But first, they've got to pay for what they've done. But hey, no need to worry, OK? This isn't your fault, it's Danny's. You're not going to have any trouble finding other work. Listen, hey, when you do, I hope it's in Erinsborough, OK? I want you to stick around. Constable Brennan speaking. What? When? Yeah, I'll be right there. What's wrong? Tomato's been bailed. I got this.
Constable Brennan, nice of you to come and see me off.
Just because you're out of here doesn't mean this is over.
Doesn't mean what's over.
I'll see you back here tomorrow, as per your bail conditions. And every day after that until you go to court. Or I'll be after you.
I'm a legitimate businessman with a company to run. I'm not going anywhere. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mark, I've got a lot of work to catch up on.
Thank you so much for coming. I wanted to let you know that you're not alone. I know what it's like to feel so desperate that you'll grasp at anything, that you'll do anything. And no one doubts that you never intended for any of this to happen, but it did. And the only way to redeem yourself is to face up to that.
And what makes you the expert?
Well, I've done some pretty horrendous things in my time.
Like what?
I mean, I've hurt and I've abandoned the people I love the most. I've stolen from others. I never intended to do any of those things, but I did. And taking responsibility for my actions was the only way to put them right.
Yeah, but I can't put this right. I can't fix this. I can't bring Matt back.
No. No, you can't. And I know it's terrifying and it's confronting, but taking responsibility for what you've done, trust me, that's the only way you can move forward.
She's obviously taken a liking to you.
Ah, she just knows who pays the bills, don't you, girl? Eh? So I've been thinking about the conversation we had earlier.
About telling your kids.
Yeah. And you know, you are right. They do deserve to know. Amy as well. Which is why I would like you to look for her.
Okay. Okay, yes. Well, is there any information that you can tell me to get me started? What do you know?
Not a great deal, I'm afraid. Well, Amy's mother, Nina Williams, she was a flight attendant that I had a thing with many years ago, and I knew nothing about Amy until Nina showed up with this little 3-year-old in tow. And she was only in my life for a few years before Nina took off with her again.
Oh, do you have a last known address?
No.
Sorry to barge in, I couldn't wait.
Why, what is it?
Look, I've just heard about a new drug trial. Apparently it's producing remarkable results overseas. Look, if I can put my centre forward as a location for an Australian trial, you'll be a part of the first group to benefit from it. If we have a centre, that is.
Do you want to tell him the good news, or should I?
I've spent most of my afternoon lobbying fence sitters at the council. Tomorrow's vote is in the bag. You will have your centre, Dr. Nick Petrides. That I can promise you.
That's great.
First of all, I want to thank you for meeting me. I realise that I've made things 1,000 times worse during what's already an incredibly difficult time.
Yeah, it is.
I was scared. The thought of going to jail, I flipped out.
So you pretended it wasn't your fault, is that it?
I somehow managed to convince myself that I wasn't entirely to blame. But I should have been watching the road. I shouldn't have been texting. And that's no one's fault but my own.
Oh, you want to talk to me, mate? You and me have some things we need to work out.
Unmissable drama.
Pretty impressive disappearing act you pulled at the yard the other day.
Look, I know that things have been as bad as they can be, but I know that there is something else going on here.